foundation statement, along with all the other Unity congregations in the world. There is one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God the good, omnipotent. Deb will share the message.
Good morning. Well, look at this place. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. They did a good job, Santa's elves. Yay! I just wonder if they can come to my house. Todd and I went out and got, we get a real tree every year. So the real tree is standing in the living room. It smells wonderful. And it's there. There is time for everything, right? We're just going to pray. Time expands. We can get everything done. And if we don't, it must not have needed to be done. We can have Christmas even if we don't get the house decorated. Guess what? We can. Here we are. Every year we cycle through seasons, right? The seasons of dark and light. The seasons of transition. We've just come through the spring and fall, or the transition seasons, and I'm really grateful to live where there are cycles and seasons. They're distinct seasons because the cycles of my life so frequently mirror the cycles of our earth, of our seasons. We've just finished harvest, and we are coming into Advent, which is that bridge into the season of darkness. That season of outer darkness, it can be a season of deep reflection. It can be a season, a time of going within to find the outer light, or the inner light, as we lose the outer light. We go in our houses, don't we? And we hunker down, right? We get everything inside, and we wait for the winter winds to howl, or in this case, this week, the cold, Arctic vortex plunge is going to take us from sandals to underwear. very quickly. But we're Iowans, we can handle it, right? Actually, they do it in Florida too. They just get nervous when it goes from 80 to 65. It's all perspective, isn't it? It's just all perspective. And a cold rain, that'll keep them in. If you want to walk anywhere in Florida and it's only 65 degrees, there won't be anybody else there except the people from the north. So, and have you noticed how the big storm is predicted? Everybody goes to Hy-Vee, we hurry and scurry, and we lay in provisions to complete the tasks that we needed to do. So the leaves are finally done. There's gas in the snow blower, gas in the car, the snow shovels are by the door, and there's enough food in the fridge, the freezer, and the cupboards to last through 6 blizzards, right? We believe in being prepared. And we did all that. Last week, as the cold snap was predicted, Todd and I finally got the leaves done. Until the wind blew. And then they all came right back, a whole bunch, right outside our back door, just where the snow always drifts. Couldn't we just finally be done with them? Couldn't you just once blow them into the neighbor's yard? Just once? Apparently not. But that's how you want it to be, isn't it? I want to be done with this. No more leaves already. How is it that I have to deal with this again, God? Why me? I wasn't in this line. Why is this happening to me? I already learned this lesson. I should get credit for it. I deserve credit for it. What's going on here? I shouldn't have to cycle through this again and again and again. I now arrive on time. I learned that lesson. I try not to create drama. I listen from my heart. I've cleaned up my side of the street in my relationships with others. I'm really... And then it happened. Then it happened. I was on a roll Tuesday, typing away, and suddenly, in the midst of the screen, I got that message. Microsoft has encountered an error and will have to quit. I hope this doesn't inconvenience you. What? You can't do this to me. And I try to hit save, right? It doesn't save. Well, it saved everything up to the good part. And it all dissolved. Are you kidding me? Inconvenience? Are you kidding me? Don't you know I have a hair appointment at 2 o'clock this afternoon, and I've got to get this damn talk on love done before then? That's how ministerial I was. Isn't that special? And I felt like Lucy in the cartoon Peanuts, as she screams at Charlie Brown. Charlie Brown, don't you get it? You're a blockhead. And Charlie Brown just shrugs and looks at her. My computer didn't even shrug. I have a minister colleague whose email signature includes the statement, no matter the question, the answer is love. No matter the question, the answer is love. Even to what the answer is love. Ooh. When she's frustrated, her friends remind her of that in her signature line. And she laughs in gratitude because it brings her back to that consciousness, that place of love. Now the story about that is on next Saturday in the Advent booklet, if you want to read the whole story about it. So here's the deal. After I regained my composure, I got up, I went and got another cup of coffee, told Todd about what happened, who could commiserate with great empathy, and I sat, and he commended me for not throwing the computer out the window. You know, that wouldn't help, but I sat down and rewrote the lost paragraph, now with a great story in it. So I said, okay, God, thank you. I get it. Thank you, Spirit, for bringing me back to love, back to my sense of humor. which is where I am when I really connect with love. When I'm connected with love, I'm laughing. I'm smiling. I'm telling stories on myself. To be honest, then, I started saving after every little line. And it happened again. Sorry it has to close, but I had it saved. I was ahead of it this time. But when I lose my sense of humor, when I lose perspective, then I step out of that place of love and into that place of taking myself too seriously. That's right where I go, and then it really goes all downhill from there, and pretty quickly, because for heaven's sakes, Deb, it's really not about you. It's not about you. Breathe. Breathe and let love break you into a smile. Think of something that is funny and break yourself into a smile. Phew, that was a close call. I like that painting. We have that print of a laughing Jesus in the community room. And I like to think that Jesus laughed a lot. Even though his mission was pretty serious and his message was very important, I think he laughed. He had to, or he wouldn't have made it. Earlier on Monday, I had an email letter from a Dr. Travis Bradbury, and he wrote the book Emotional Intelligence 2.0. And it's for people who are leaders, this whole program, to help you cultivate emotional intelligence in your leadership positions. We used it in seminary. So I decided to subscribe to his newsletter. This week, the topic was about using cliches in your communication with congregants and your colleagues, your clients. Some of you have read this on Facebook because he challenged people to write a sentence using 15 of the most obnoxious cliches and send it to him. And whoever wins, he'll send a copy of his book. So I did it, right? Because I'm all about challenges. So this is what I said. I want to see if you can count how many there are. Let's get all hands on deck to circle back around and move that goalpost together so that synergy can get us on the radar and give us more bang for the buck so that at the end of the day there is nothing to eat on my plate except the low-hanging fruit that has already hit the ground and has me running to get outside the box of these awful cliches, which leave me feeling thrown under the bus and unable to think. I went out into the kitchen and I read that to Todd, and before I finished, I was just laughing hysterically because it's so ridiculous when you put them all together, isn't it? Right. It just sounds like nuts. And I was laughing hysterically, giggling. Giggling brings me back to love. Giggling brings me back to my heart space. Now, there are some significant passages and messages about love throughout the scripture, right? Jesus talks about love a whole lot. And we've been talking about that here. Love your enemies, right? Do good to those who hate you. The most commonly quoted one that you'll hear at weddings and so forth is 1 Corinthians. 1 Corinthians 13, 1 through 4. And this is what it says. The gift of love. If I speak in the tongues of mortals and of angels, but do not have love, I am a noisy gong or a clanging cymbal. And if I have prophetic powers and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have all faith so as to remove mountains, but do not have love, I am nothing. If I give away all my possessions and I hand over my body so that I may boast, but do not have love, I gain nothing. You begin to get the idea that love is really, really the essence of all that is. Love is when we cultivate that inner light. That's a powerful statement about love. Love is when we cultivate the inner light that sustains us through the times of darkness when we're clanging in cliche speak. Right? Without even realizing it, there is still love sustaining us. Or we get love is in forgetting our own agenda to serve a higher purpose, even when we know there will be no compensation, no recognition, no acknowledgement, nothing, other than being able to give love. Love is when we have a sense of humor to say, I don't know, I hope you do, I want to hear what you think, and then we can shut up and listen and really want to hear what you think and believe that we need to hear what you think. That is love. Love is what moves us to take a pie or cookies to someone who's hurting, and then just sit with them and let them talk about it. Without talking them out of it, but just being with them. Love is listening to somebody's story without having to tell ours. Without having to say, oh, I know what that's like. And just listen. Love is 1,000 little instances when we could react and we choose to step back into the humor of the situation, keep our sense of humor rather than judge or condemn. Love is one of our 12 spiritual powers. Charles Fillmore describes it like gravity. Love is what holds us, and it holds the whole world together. Everybody, everything. Even when we are in a time of trial, a time of darkness, of hurt. Love is that magnetic energy that holds us all together. Holds our whole world together. No matter what color we are, no matter what our creed is, what language we speak, the language of a smile is universal. Because it's the language of the heart, the language of love. It pulls us all unto itself in harmony and unity. And here's the deal. Real love leaves no one out. Real love leaves no one out. It is the very power and presence of spirit. Without love, the scripture says nothing else matters. Nothing else matters. Wow. That is profound. Nothing else really matters. No matter how much money you have, how many friends on Facebook, whatever it is, nothing else really matters. In Jesus Christ Heals, Charles Fillmore says, God does not love anybody or anything. God is the love in everybody and everything. God is the love. And we become loving by permitting that which is God to find expression in word and act. That's a radical notion. That is a radical notion. God is the love in us. The power of love. We are the power of love loving. And we let love be born in us again and again and again, whether we're dealing with a boss, our computer, Microsoft that closes, whatever it is. Love is born in us again and again and again. And when we do that, We are letting more of that God energy that we are shine the light of love into the world. God knows this world needs that right now. We let our light shine, our love light shine. If others are going to know that they too are loved, then the way they're going to know it is to see it as a reflection from each one of us. We see it as a reflection of one another. So in this Christmas season, remember E.T., his Heartlight? I love that movie. That's our challenge, is to let that light really be seen. We're right on the cusp of winter, right on the cusp of going into the shortest day, that time of outer darkness. It's really a time to reflect on our thought seeds, right? Because at the end of the harvest, you also gather in the seeds. What is it you want to keep, and what is it that isn't serving you anymore? It is a time when we're hunkered down and the snow is falling and the winds are howling, to spend time reflecting on the thought seeds that we want to plant in our consciousness. What are they? What are the seeds we want to plant? What's going on within our own skin? And how do we feel about it? What deeper insights can we welcome? What new place of compassion can we cultivate in our heart? And how is our inner landscape changing? Can we have more compassion for those we don't understand? Can we welcome the questions we encounter with the statement, no matter the question, love is the answer? No matter the question, love is the answer. Can we shift into that in our consciousness? In Unity, we teach as within, so without. So what we see in our lives is a manifestation of the thought seeds we've been planting. So in this season of outer darkness, we really mindfully choose those seeds we're going to plant in our consciousness. Robert Louis Stevenson, Treasure Island, said, "Don't judge each day by the harvest you reap, but by the seeds you plant." Don't judge each day by the harvest you reap, but by the seeds that you plant. This is a time for planting those inner thought seeds that will grow our love consciousness as a way of encountering and interacting and engaging in the world. It takes courage. It takes courage to be loving in the face of what isn't feeling like love. But no matter what the question, the answer is love. Yes. Maya Angelou said, "Have enough courage to trust love one more time, and always one more time." Have enough courage to trust love one more time, and always one more time. So let's take that into our time of meditation. And we're singing that beautiful Love Came Down at Christmas.
For
to notice your breath and to allow your breath to lengthen as you take in a breath and release. And allow your attention and your energy to drop into your heart space, to that place of love, that place of inner knowing. That place of knowing that whatever the question, the answer is always love. The root word for courage is heart, kur. So when we are reaching for that last ounce of courage to show up as a loving presence, we breathe into our heart space, knowing that love will never fail us. No matter what the question, no matter what the situation, no matter the circumstances, the answer is love. So I invite you now to sit for a moment in that silence, in that sanctuary, that holy place of your heart, and connect with that power of love, loving, that you are. As we come back to this time and this place, I call on that power of love, loving, to sustain and express God in all the circumstances of my life. Wherever I find myself, I am the power of love, loving. So let us sing one more time.
So God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over